Have you ever felt a place calling to you? Not with a shout, but with a gentle, almost secretive invitation. Sometimes it's not the loudest destinations that capture our hearts, but those that reach out softly, stirring something deep within us. There are places in this world that don't demand your attention. They simply wait, patient and timeless, for you to listen. Have you ever noticed how a breeze can carry stories? How the wind can seem to whisper secrets of a land you've never seen? That's how Guatemala first spoke to me, not with grand gestures, but with a subtle promise, carried on the wind, of adventure and discovery. For me, that whisper came from Guatemala, the land of eternal spring. It's a country where every sunrise feels like a new beginning, where ancient mysteries linger in the air, and where vibrant cultures paint every street and market with color and life. The warmth of the people, their smiles, and their traditions create a tapestry that's both inviting and endlessly fascinating. I found myself dreaming of walking through Maya stone cities, tracing my fingers over carvings that have survived centuries, and connecting with a story thousands of years old. The ruins of Tikal and other ancient sites seem to call out, promising a glimpse into a civilization that shaped the very soul of this land. But there was a challenge. How could I truly experience the heart and soul of Guatemala with just $850 in my pocket? Could I uncover its wonders, taste its flavors, and meet its people without breaking the bank? This journey would be about more than just seeing the sights. It would be about finding value in every moment and making every quetzal count. This wasn't about missing out or cutting corners. Instead, it was about traveling smarter, living like a local, and discovering that the richest moments often cost nothing at all. Sharing a meal with a Guatemalan family, riding a colorful chicken bus through the highlands, or simply wandering a bustling market, these are the experiences that create lasting memories. So join me. Let's wander the cobblestone streets of Antigua, where history echoes with every step. Let's paddle across the shimmering waters of Lake Atitlan, surrounded by majestic volcanoes and vibrant villages. Let's lose ourselves in the colors, sounds, and flavors that make Guatemala truly unique. And let's climb ancient pyramids together, standing atop the remnants of a civilization that still shapes the spirit of this land. All of this and more is possible, even on a budget, if you're willing to embrace the adventure and open your heart to the unexpected. Our journey into the heart of Guatemala begins now. Let's answer the whisper and see where it leads us. My adventure began in Antigua, a city where every step on the cobblestone streets feels like a journey back in time. The colonial buildings, painted in vibrant hues, line the narrow lanes, each one telling a story of centuries past. Antigua's charm is immediate and undeniable, with its colorful facades and the gentle bustle of daily life unfolding against a backdrop that feels almost magical. All of this sits beneath the watchful gaze of three majestic volcanoes, Agua, Fuego, and Acatenango. Their silhouettes dominate the horizon, reminding you of nature's power and beauty at every turn. Sometimes you can even see wisps of smoke curling from Fuego, a subtle reminder that these giants are very much alive. I spent my days wandering the maze of streets, where every corner seemed to reveal a new secret. I stumbled upon hidden gardens bursting with tropical flowers, and explored the hauntingly beautiful ruins of old churches, silent witnesses to Antigua's dramatic history of earthquakes and resilience. My home base was a cozy, family-run guest house tucked away on a quiet street. The moment I arrived, I was greeted with warm smiles and genuine hospitality that made me feel instantly at ease, as if I were staying with old friends rather than strangers. The owners, a local Guatemalan family, shared stories of their city and offered invaluable tips on what to see and do. Their advice led me to hidden gems I never would have found on my own, and their kindness made my stay both affordable and deeply authentic. Instead of pricey restaurants, I embraced the local way of eating, at bustling comedores and lively street stalls. Each day I sampled pupusas hot off the griddle, sipped on fresh fruit juices bursting with flavor, and tried tamales wrapped in banana leaves. The food was simple, delicious, and incredibly affordable, connecting me to the rhythms of daily life in Antigua. One of the highlights of my time in Antigua was hiking up Pacaya Volcano. The trail wound through lush forests before opening up to a stark, otherworldly landscape of black volcanic rock. Walking across the warm, jagged stones, I felt a sense of awe at the raw power beneath my feet. At the summit, I joined fellow travelers in a unique tradition, roasting marshmallows over the volcano's steaming heat vents. The sweet, gooey treats tasted even better with the knowledge that they were cooked by the earth itself. As the sun began to set, the sky exploded in shades of orange and pink, casting a magical glow over the landscape. Watching the sunset from the volcano slopes was a moment of pure wonder, one I'll never forget. These experiences taught me that Guatemala's true magic isn't found in expensive tours or luxury hotels, but in its breathtaking landscapes and the warmth of its people. Every encounter, every meal, every view was a reminder of the country's vibrant spirit. Traveling on a budget didn't limit my experience, it deepened it. It brought me closer to the heart of Antigua, to its culture, its traditions, and its people. Antigua was the perfect start to my journey, a place where history, adventure, and community come together in the shadow of volcanoes. From Antigua, I traveled to Lake Atitlan, a breathtaking lake cradled by volcanoes. I settled in San Pedro La Laguna, a peaceful village where mornings began with fishermen gliding across the water. Public boats connected the lake's villages, each with its own charm. In San Juan, I watched women weave vibrant textiles, learning the stories behind their patterns. My days were filled with swimming, paddleboarding, and hiking to Indian Nose for sunrise. I spent hours by the shore, simply soaking in the beauty. Lake Atitlan taught me to slow down and savor the present. Here, the soul of Guatemala revealed itself in every moment. Twice a week, the town of Chichicastenango in Guatemala transforms into a living canvas, bursting into a riot of color and energy as its legendary market takes over the cobblestone streets. From the early hours of the morning, vendors and shoppers alike pour in from the surrounding highlands, their arms laden with goods and hopes for the day. The market is not just a place to buy and sell, it's a celebration of life, tradition, and community that has been held for centuries, drawing people from all walks of life into its vibrant embrace. As I wandered through a seemingly endless maze of stalls, I was dazzled by the explosion of color and craftsmanship all around me. Woven textiles in every imaginable hue hung from wooden beams, their intricate patterns telling stories passed down through generations. Wooden masks, each one hand-carved and painted with care, stared out from the tables, their expressions mysterious and inviting. Pottery, both functional and decorative, gleamed in the sunlight, reflecting the skill and creativity of the artisans. Every piece I touched or admired seemed to whisper tales of Mayan heritage, connecting the present to a rich and ancient past. The market was alive with a symphony of sounds and scents. The melodic cadence of Mayan languages filled the air, as vendors called out to passers-by and families bartered for the best deals. The sweet, smoky aroma of burning incense drifted from makeshift altars, mingling with the fresh, juicy scent of ripe mangoes and other tropical fruits piled high on the stalls. Everywhere I turned, there was something new to see, hear, or taste, a sensory overload that was both exhilarating and grounding. Farmers, their hands weathered by years of tending the land, sold mountains of fresh produce, tomatoes, avocados, and corn, the staples of Guatemalan cuisine. Food stalls sizzled with activity, offering steaming bowls of pepian, a rich and spicy stew, alongside stacks of warm, handmade tortillas. The flavors were bold and comforting, a testament to the region's culinary heritage. Sharing a meal here felt like being welcomed into a family, with recipes and stories passed from one generation to the next. On the ancient church steps, I paused to watch as shamans performed sacred rituals, their hands moving with practiced grace over candles and offerings. The air shimmered with the smoke of copal, and the rhythmic chanting created a powerful atmosphere, a mesmerizing blend of Mayan spirituality and Catholic tradition. It was a reminder that here, faith is woven into daily life, and the spiritual world feels as close as the bustling market itself. This market was more than just a place of commerce. It was the heartbeat of the community. Friends greeted each other with warm embraces, children darted between stalls in playful games, and elders shared wisdom beneath the shade of colorful umbrellas. The sense of connection was palpable, as if the market itself was a living, breathing entity that brought everyone together week after week. My visit was a deep dive into living culture, not just a shopping trip. Every conversation with an artisan, every shared smile, and every taste of local food was an invitation to understand and appreciate the traditions that make Chichicastenango unique. I left with more than souvenirs. I carried with me a sense of wonder and respect for the people who keep this vibrant tapestry alive. Chichicastenango was a feast for the senses and the soul, a place where history, culture, and community come together in a dazzling display of color and life. It's a reminder that some of the world's greatest treasures are found not in museums, but in the everyday moments and gatherings of people who celebrate their heritage with pride. The journey to Samuk Champay was a bumpy ride through jungle and remote villages, but the destination was pure magic. Samuk Champay's turquoise pools form a natural bridge over the Cahabon River, surrounded by dense rainforest. I stayed in a simple jungle hostel, waking to the sounds of birds and monkeys. Hiking to El Mirador viewpoint revealed a breathtaking panorama of terraced pools and jungle. I swam in the cool water, explored candlelit water caves, and floated down the river on an inner tube. The adventure was both thrilling and peaceful, a perfect blend. Samuk Champay reminded me of nature's raw, untouched beauty. It was a highlight of my Guatemalan journey. Next, I arrived in Flores, a tiny island on Lake Pitan Itza, with cobblestone streets and colorful buildings. My guest house had a rooftop terrace for sunset views, a budget-friendly paradise. Flores is the gateway to Tikal, the legendary Mayan city, and the town buzzed with anticipation. While waiting for my Tikal tour, I kayaked on the lake and visited an animal rescue center, learning about local wildlife. Evenings were spent strolling the Malecon, sampling street food, and soaking in the tranquil atmosphere. Flores was the perfect place to rest and reflect before exploring ancient ruins. The island's charm and warmth made it unforgettable. It was the calm before the grand finale. Before dawn, I joined a group heading to Tikal to witness sunrise from atop an ancient pyramid. As the jungle awoke with howler monkeys and birds, mist lifted to reveal temples piercing the canopy, a spiritual, unforgettable moment. We explored Tikal's vast plazas, pyramids, and palaces, marveling at the city's scale and sophistication. Our guide brought history to life with stories of kings and astronomers, and we spotted wildlife among the ruins. Tikal is a living ecosystem where history and nature intertwine. Walking these ancient paths, I felt awe for the Mayan civilization and the jungle that preserved its secrets. Tikal was the pinnacle of my adventure. Traveling Guatemala on $850 was possible with smart choices and a willingness to embrace local life. I stayed in family-run guest houses and hostels, paying just $10, $15 a night for comfort and connection. Eating at Commodores and street stalls, I enjoyed authentic meals for a few dollars a day. Fresh fruit from markets and local snacks kept my food budget low. For transport, I used shared shuttles, public boats, and colorful chicken buses. Cheap, fun, and full of local flavor. Prioritizing experiences over luxury, I found the real magic of Guatemala. Budget travel opened doors to unforgettable moments. As my journey ended, I reflected on volcano climbs, turquoise pools, ancient ruins, and the kindness of strangers. My $850 budget didn't limit me. It deepened my connection to Guatemala's people and culture. The true treasure was the warmth and generosity I found everywhere. This trip taught me that meaningful travel is about curiosity, respect, and an open heart, not money. Guatemala's wonder is accessible to anyone willing to listen for its call. I hope this story inspires you to seek your own adventure, no matter your budget. The world's most beautiful chapters are waiting. Go answer the whisper.